Alright, just starting up the stream here as usual, having to troubleshoot like half a dozen technical problems. um, Please note that. So my headset audio isn't working great. I had to like plug and unplug my headset. Please tell me, anybody who's listening in on the stream, is the audio okay? Is the sound quality good? Is it too quiet? Is it too loud? I'm really like messing with the settings here, and I'm not even sure if Second Life audio is coming through. So it would be cool if you guys could let me know if it's transmitting. I'm just gonna assume that it is for the time being until I get some feedback. I resized the window a little bit. It's more of like a square ratio so that I could have the chat window from YouTube pop out over here on the side so that I'll be able to see when people are chatting. So hopefully that will improve the experience for everyone a little bit. But that also means that any and all chats will become a permanent part of the stream video. So just keep that in mind. If you do chat, there won't be any takebacks. Just FYI. I've noticed that on a couple of my videos, and I have no idea why, but random people just dropped into the stream and they would like chat something. They would type something into the chat and then they would retract it. The funny thing was that like by the time I noticed it in the chat window, it had already been deleted, so I have no idea what they typed. So that was sort of one of the reasons that I wanted to have the chat window pop up actually part of the video, so that if anybody does do that again, I'll actually be able to see what they said. Although who knows, they probably said something really like rude or offensive that they then changed their mind about. So we'll see. Maybe this isn't such a hot idea, but who knows. So many choices. I was just thinking about this a lot the other day after I made that last video. I was like, I could do this forever. Like, I'm never gonna run out of Sims. If I made a stream every day, 365 days a year, I could just go indefinitely. So I think a lot about the technical side and the business side, which World of Water. Okay, let's try this. Oh, they put me in the exclusion zone. Ugh. The penalty box. Oh, this is a super conventional but otherwise aesthetically pleasing sim. Yeah, I think a lot about the business side of Second Life and YouTube. But here's the thing, like even though I think about it a lot, I don't really have any aspirations, I guess, for being a commercial YouTuber. I mean, you may have noticed my channel is I do have a partner channel. And I don't even remember. Oh right, originally I got that partner channel. I signed up ages ago so that I could post longer videos, because I doubt anyone will even remember this, but back in the day YouTube had like a video length limit. I think it was like 10 minutes or something. It was really short. And so if you wanted to have a longer video, like a 20-minute video or an hour-long video, you needed to like upgrade your account. At least that's kind of how I remember it. I'm not 100% sure if that's a fact. But I do know that I didn't sign up with a partner account initially because I was like, "Oh, I'm going to turn this into like a business. I'm going to make a lot of money on Second Life." That was never my motive. I mean, I haven't gone out of my way to like express this. That's cool. That's a nice attention to detail there. Express my opinions about money much in these videos. I've done it a little on my channel. But yeah, I kind of despise money. And I think I have said this before. I've always thought that money is like a very poor yardstick for assessing value and for sort of like as a lubricant for the exchange of goods and services. I mean, clearly it's like the best thing that humans have come up with for the job, but in terms of how money sort of performs in a broader sense and like an ecological sense, it has a lot of horrible side effects. And that's just like in the normal day-to-day action of financial exchange. That doesn't really include like endemic problems that are caused by money, like corruption and like financial services that then like the banks, you know, with like the financial collapse and stuff. That was, I mean, I suppose all that stuff could happen on its own regardless of whether or not money exists. I mean, you have to kind of wonder about this, or at least I do. I've seen this before on a different sim, like this little like wooden mine gateway. I wonder who made this. Yeah, so please, I notice I've got 2 viewers right now. Could somebody please tell me that like the audio is coming through? Because I really don't know, because I had to plug in my headset. I'm gonna type it into the chat because I just realized maybe no one can hear me. The streaming software shows me some stuff, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's transmitting. Oh, that's a beautiful oh, great. Thank you, Anna. Thank you. Oh wow, this is a very detailed like prison cell torture chamber type thing. Yeah, so I mean, money, it's complicated, and obviously when I think about money and financial services and stuff, I always try to think about it in the context of like the pre-existing system. A little bottle of doom. So like, you can't just take things out of isolation, and you can't just kind of plow forward with any sort of ideology without taking into account. That's kind of a cool box full of torturous looking sex toys. This kind of looks like I don't know, definitely like a torture chamber. So yeah, like we all need money to survive more or less, and we all appreciate the agency that money provides. I mean, really, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like there isn't really a substitute, so we don't really have anything to compare it to in terms of modern living, because it's basically all we have. And there's a lot of these like fucking machines in Second Life. I've seen a lot of these. Jesus Christ, that motor is like so overpowered for a device like this. I mean, that motor could like run like an industrial metal grinding machine. You don't need that many horsepower to make a dildo go back and forth. TBH, from a mechanical engineering. Thanks, Fabiano. Yeah, I'm really having fun. I just wanted to say, like, thank you to everybody who's been participating, and I mean, my view count has been going up, and I'm kind of anxious here. This is obviously going to be one of those X-rated mansions, and at least I set the viewer or the video like I don't even know what they call it, but like where you set it for adults instead of children. So hopefully that will provide enough shielding, although I've known a few Second Lifers who got their like accounts suspended and stuff because of adult things. This is like my greatest fear, honestly, when I explore in Second Life, because I never know what I'm going to come across. So looks like absinthe, like a burning sugar cube. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I guess YouTube has gotten way more aggressive recently about policing content, so you gotta be really careful the kind of stuff you put in your videos now. Wow, there's a lot of cool sculptures in here. I think this qualifies as like art, like the statuary. I don't think you'd have to worry too much about getting your video like flagged for something like that, maybe. I mean, you just kind of hope that there's a reasonable some human being who actually like looks at the bedroom status. Being kinky. You just hope that there's actually a human being who's like reviewing flag content and stuff and is applying a little bit of common sense instead of just being like, oh, this person is obviously doing this to abuse the system or is endangering their viewers or whatever. I don't know what goes through their head. This diorama is pretty cool. I've never seen like a 3D. It looks like one of those Renaissance era paintings, but then it's like extruded. I don't know if it's a 3D scan or if it's like an original creation, but it's pretty cool. Let's see who made this. Splendid antique mural sculpture by Medieval Fantasy. That's pretty cool. Lots of botanicals, seeing more and more of those. Oh yeah, but getting back to what I was saying, which was like two topics that I was trying to talk about both at the same time. Thanks everybody for supporting my exploration efforts so far. It's been nice to see like interest, because like I've said before, I don't do this for views, but I'm always happy when I see that I've gotten a lot of views for obvious reasons. And interactivity on the channel is always fun, and during the streams. So yeah, my views are up like way up from last year, but of course I've been posting a video almost every day for an entire month. I was already in this room. I don't know, the Sims seeming kind of risky. Also, this is a prefab house that I've seen before, so I'm not even sure if I want to continue exploring this sim. I'm gonna go into a couple more rooms, and if it gets dicey, I'm just gonna back away, slowly back away. Oh, this is a cool little like cozy computer nook here. Hey, that looks very similar to the video card I'm using right now. Little artist manga vlogger station here. It's pastel colors. What is this? The Sea Witch's Cave? Oh, cool. I love dioramas like this. Beautiful work. Like a dragon skull, or is that? Not sure. Let's see who made this. Omen. Damien. Oh, whoa, these are cool bookends. Like an arrow going through the... A sparkly arrow. Whoa. That's pretty cool. That texture effect. I wonder if that's a complete set or if it's like a build your own. I always wonder how many of these things are like from real life that creators see like on Pinterest or whatever and then 3D model and put them into Second Life versus how many of them are original creations. This is a fairly realistic environment here. What does this say? Gaming beanbag. Oh, it says player on it, I think. Oh, player 1, player 2. Are these like Nintendo Wii's or PlayStations? I don't know. I don't know my consoles. Oh, the toilet test. That's what I'm calling it, like to find out how sophisticated a house build is when you click on the toilet and the lid and the seat both go up. It's like that's the gold standard for sophistication. If it's just the seat that goes up, then it's like halfway, you know. So I guess here's like the boy version of the other room that we were just in, although actually it looks almost identical. It's just a slightly different color. It looks like a GameCube down there. SNES. Dating myself, I know all the old consoles. Whoa, Game Boy display, that's pretty cool. Although it looks like just different colors of the same model. It would have been cool if they were all like different generations of Game Boys. Okay. I had to like go outside the house to see in better. You can actually see more through the windows than just going room to room. Alright. This is a cool display. Noel Bunny. Oh yeah, Dust Bunny, of course. I noticed I was watching some other Second Lifer videos the other day on YouTube, and one of them was a tour of the new Linden homes, which is kind of a really bizarre but fascinating sort of like side project. Wow, that's a lot of corks. This is a really cool prop too. But yeah, Linden Labs like has these official, like when you get a premium account, and someone's really hitting the wine and the champagne. That's just such a cool concept. Apple Fall. Don't get me started. But yeah, the new Linden homes, apparently like a lot of the props in this one that she was touring was Dust Bunny props, so I guess they're kind of a rising star in the Second Life universe, which I'm not, marketplace universe. I'm not surprised because they make super high quality props, just like gorgeous props. And in between Apple Fall and Dust Bunny and IVI, or I can't remember the exact name, but like those three creators, I don't know, it seems like they have a huge chunk of market share in Second Life in terms of virtual objects. Although I've been on a few Sims now. Yeah. Good Serp gets it. That looks very cozy. I just want to like draw a bath and climb right in. Eat some whatever those things are called. Those little dessert cookie things. God, why can't I remember? I'm having like such a hard time focusing today. I just got off work and I was really tired, but I was also kind of mentally energized, and I was like, man, I really want to stream because I get so excited about streaming because it honestly is a ton of fun. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, I'm a little like on the fringe today of, I don't know, dipping into like mania or something, just having a skating on the edge. God, everything's taking so long to res. So we got bath bombs, towels. This is a really nice set of props here. Ooh, that's a beautiful basket. Or Dust Bunny. So yeah, definitely one of the more prolific and powerful shops on the marketplace. Which I always wonder, like, I don't see how you could be just one 3D artist. Like, Dust Bunny must be like a collective. The same with Apple Fall. I mean, it's got to be like a whole bunch of artists working together. It's not like one person could possibly be that prolific and produce assets with that high of a level of quality. Because they're not just really good at designing and texturing and everything else and optimization. They're also actively editing. And of course, this is something that a lot of creators or would-be creators probably don't even think about, but coming up with ideas for props and creating original props is just as challenging as actually the creation process itself. Like, honestly, that was one of the main things that sort of shut me down, because for a while I was pumping out like an asset a day, and like that was all well and good, but after a while I was having trouble like coming up with ideas for new assets and stuff, and it was just like, these creators, I mean, like, where do you get an idea for something like this? Like, there's so many aspects to this that are like semi-original, or I mean, a lot of them are what you would just call like motif driven, I guess. So like this is just a standard motif style, and I'm sure like the people who do this professionally, like hardcore, they must look through all sorts of like books and do internet searches to find like inspiration and stuff. I mean, I'm just saying basically the kind of process that I used when I was building, because like if you're just thinking stuff up totally from scratch, you're gonna burn out really quick. At least that's my opinion. It looks like they got a Glock and some money in their closet. It's like a mini bug out bag briefcase. Totally a must for every every closet. Money case. Yeah, so there's some diversity on this sim. God, I really want this to res. I want to see all the details because it looks like it's going to be really cool, but it's taking so long. Could have plenty of bandwidth. I just don't know what's going on with Second Life today. I'm sure there's like a very good explanation for why sometimes things res really quickly. I mean, it could have to do with the fact that I'm out in the middle of nowhere, basically. And even though I have like a 4, oh, there we go, finally resed. Oh, and it's like pixelated low res textures. That's hilarious. Funny. Oh, cool. Like a luxury watch display. I'm gonna wait for this to res. Oh yeah, so to bring everything back around like full circle, what I was talking about in the beginning about money and stuff, like, it's very important to me for my channel to not have it become corrupted with financial incentives, or I don't know what you would want to call it. Like, I haven't been monetizing any of my streaming videos. I mean, it would be stupid to do that anyway because they don't get enough views. I feel like for a video, for me to monetize a video, it has to get at least 10,000 views. And you know, I have some videos that have over 100,000 views. So it's, and I've noticed, like, in other words, if you're monetizing a video like this, where you get like, you know, a few hundred views maximum, you're just penalizing your subscribers. You're just forcing viewers to watch ads. You're just giving Google, yeah, Russian mafia, totally. You're just giving Google an alphabet free advertising revenue, and you're doing that because you're going to get like next to nothing, but every single person who watches your video who doesn't have an ad blocker enabled is going to have to watch those ads. And I feel like that's just lame, so that's kind of a cool prop. But yeah, I've seen, like, I have to admit, I have an attitude, a serious attitude about YouTube and YouTubers. So that's really cool. It's like a steampunk like vacuum chamber boiler that then has been turned into a little like bookcase bar. I mean, I would even go so far as to say my opinions about YouTubers and YouTube culture is pretty legendary and well documented. Like, I've been pretty upset about it in the past, and like I've made some catty comments about a lot of other like high profile YouTubers. I mean, who doesn't really when you're like at my level on YouTube? I mean, partially it's a little bit of jealousy. I'm just going to be totally honest about it. Like, yeah, of course I'm jealous of like YouTubers that are getting like hundreds of thousands of views on each video. I mean, who wouldn't want to be there regardless of whether or not... Oh, that's so cool. This is a really neat display. Regardless of whether or not you're monetizing your content, it's just like if you're taking the time to make something for your channel that you're like proud of or whatever, you want people to see it. That's the whole point. Otherwise you just like have your own private video archive and you would never make the videos public. So that's a little bit of it. And the other half, that's a really cool light fixture. Come on, where are you? Profile. D-Lab. Dazelle Boom. The other half of it is like just the way that a lot of the high profile YouTubers act is kind of like unscrupulous, like a lot of clickbaity stuff, and I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. Everybody who's been on YouTube has had experience with this to some degree and knows what it's like, what people do to get views and make money on their channels. Some YouTubers, I'm not going to name any names in this video, but some YouTubers have taken it way too far and just done horrible things, unethical things, racist things, sexist things, whatever they can do to increase their audience, get viewers and subscribers. One of the things that really bugs me is, and I don't think there's anything wrong with this. I'm just gonna say that, like, I'm not being judgmental here exactly, even though it may sound like it. But like when YouTubers are constantly, like, in every single video, like, like, favorite, subscribe, follow, click the bell, whatever. I mean, yeah, that's how you grow your subscribers and all that. I mean, it's like pretty much proven to work. So it seems like it would be stupid to not to do it. But at the same time, like, I feel like there's a level of, like, dignity that is completely lacking from that, because when people do that, it's really all about growing their channel and becoming more and more popular at the expense of everything else. Like, I mean, I get it. If you're a career YouTuber and that's like your goal is to make money, then of course you're gonna pull out all the stops. You're gonna just, like, have no sense of decorum and value. You're just gonna do whatever it takes to get that paper, you know? So, like, I understand what goes through YouTubers' heads, but I feel like it's degrading, not just for the YouTubers themselves who act that way. Let's see, what are these, AR-15s, right? Let's see, what's the thing they say about ARs? God, there's some kind of, like, clever, funny thing about disparaging ARs. I'm just forgetting everything lately. So we got, let's see, we got bullets that are square and don't fit in the gun at all because they're over optimized. It's like NATO cartridges, but at least they're not square. Got some massive suppressors, some 30 round banana clips. Or that might be like a stock attachment, I don't know what that is. Man, this is pretty dark in here. Oh, it's a whole gun cabinet, wow. Uh-oh. I did the unthinkable and I double clicked, so now I'm all the way back out here. Yeah, I'm starting to agree with the Mafia thing. That was a very, like, Mafia Dawn style mansion in there. And I think I saw some vineyards too on this sim, so that would kind of corroborate that, like, Mafia Dawn aesthetic. But yeah, I don't think you necessarily need to degrade yourself. God, that's comfort. You're like in the hot tub watching movies with the jets blasting. But I'm not sure where I've been and where I haven't been now. This always happens to me in mansions. Alright, I think I've seen just about everything there is to see here on this sim. I'm actually kind of, oh yeah, there's no grapes. I was just thinking of that outside area. So, who knows? Here's the fishing trawler, you know, where you take your your mob victims and you shove them into barrels and then take them out 40 miles off the coast and dump them over the side, or who knows what's in there. Those are actually kind of cool props. This boat's a cool prop. Red Eco fishing boat, Arena. Nice dock too, like all the accessories are pretty fantastic. So neat wolves. Yeah, I just think it's a fine line, like when you're a YouTuber, and like because of the way things work on social media, it really requires an extreme degree of self-analysis, and like you have a lot of responsibility because your reach is so vast. I mean, people who have millions of subscribers or who get millions of views every month, it's like you're influencing a lot of people. And in normal circumstances, you know, they say like the more influence you have, the more accountable you have to be, and with great power comes great responsibility. However, it's like on YouTube that doesn't really seem to apply psychologically. A lot of these YouTubers, they have an insane amount of influence and they get a lot of traffic, but they don't really act in a responsible way. They don't seem to care like about how their videos might affect others adversely. I mean, admittedly, I don't really think about it that much, but I mean, I don't have millions of subscribers, so I don't feel like it's as big an issue, but I mean, I certainly should think about it to some degree. I thought I would be able to sneak into the attic here and see some more stuff, but instead I'm just going in circles, so I'm gonna, let's see, how long have I been? 40 minutes. I think I'm gonna try one more sim today. I really want to finish this train of thought, but it's like, it's super hard. My like visual cortex is clearly kind of cross-wired with my verbal cortex, so I tend to like be able to either do one or the other, but not necessarily both at the same time really well. But yeah, that's definitely where my like contempt of a lot of YouTubers comes from. It's like they sold out and they aren't being conscientious. They aren't doing their due diligence. They are just kind of like doing whatever they think will increase their traffic and make them the most money, and not like, yeah, I don't think that's a good way to live. And I guess yeah, I'm being a little judgy there, but I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only person who thinks that way. So basically, all of that I was talking about is just me wanting to say that, like, I don't want to end up like that. And I'm sure there's an addictive aspect to it. Man, I didn't even check the sim title. Okay. Odysseus, I guess. So this is pretty fantastic in terms of color. It's a visual spectacle. Clearly I'm too scatterbrained today to like produce any sort of a cohesive narrative. That was my cat sitting on the keyboard. Come on, Meme. Come on, dude. Get off the keyboard. He's like sleeping on my mouse pad too, so I can't really even navigate. Alright, there we go. Ugh, gotcha. No thank you. Oh, this is that like 80s synth style visual art. So this looks like a shop sim. There's some interesting stuff happening out here. It's kind of a random snack table out in the middle of nowhere. This is an interesting prop. Medicine bottle, candy pop medicine bottle. Yeah, one of the things I really don't like about shop sims is that essentially they're almost all the same in the sense that it's an entire sim and then there's just one tiny little building on it somewhere full of kiosks. Like the formula is pretty consistent. Sometimes the shops are really cool and impressive. Like this one's different. Like it has some cool stuff. Like these are cool. I mean, these are probably like third party. Made by Glitch, which could be the sim owner. I don't know. Yeah, the sim owner. Cool. Oh, yeah, Vaporwave. That's the name of that aesthetic. It's become really popular lately. I don't know why exactly. I think it's just like a lot of nostalgia for the 1980s, but like merged with the sort of technology fetishism of the current era. So like those two things clashing together. But it's funny because I think a lot of the people who are really into Vaporwave are like not millennials or like Zoomers or people who like never even got to experience the 80s. The only way they can experience it is through watching like movies like Back to the Future or The Breakfast Club or whatever, you know? So it's kind of like a weird amalgam. Yeah, so this, I don't know. I guess I'll just post this in here. Someone might find it interesting. But I wanna see if I can find a cooler sim. Because the shop sims are just, they're so one-dimensional. It's like an entire sim and there's just one building on it with a few kiosks in it. I've only been to maybe half a dozen sims or so that had like shop sims that had a really amazing shop that was like so cool that I felt like I hadn't wasted my time going there. They're really rare. And like I don't know, part of that is just I think a scale issue because a sim is a pretty big chunk of space, and if you have an entire island to be creative on, that's a lot of real estate, and you may like find yourself seriously overextended trying to fill that space. This looks promising. Catacombs. I'm gonna try to go here. In which case you just kind of end up working in a really small area that's like to the scale of your consciousness or your vision or whatever. Well, this is cool so far. Although this looks like another shop sim, but at the same time it's awesome because this is a really surreal and neat landscape. I mean, it's semi-typical but with the trees and stuff, but it's... I'm just going to paste this right in here really quick. Sorry I didn't paste the SL URL of that first sim, but I don't know like how many people will even want... Oh wow, the meteor shower is cool. It looks like it's on a two-dimensional plane, but it sure looks 3D. That's an impressive effect. Yeah, but seriously though, like, if my channel ever gets really popular and my streaming videos ever get really popular, I hope my viewers, the people who have followed me from the beginning, and my subscribers, who apparently only like 8% of my 2,000 subscribers or whatever actually watch these videos. I hope that those people will hold me accountable to some degree to like my ideals, like that I've talked about in this video, and that I won't turn into one of those like degenerate YouTubers who's just like hustling nonstop and never thinks about the consequences. Like, I want to be an ethical YouTuber, and I want like to spread that ideology. I want that to be the new standard. No more like PewDiePie's or Logan Paul's or Ray William Johnson or what the hell, you know, to name a few. Like, YouTube needs a new generation of YouTubers. People who are more intellectual and less about the clickbait and more about, I don't know, just really caring about the content they create and the world that they're creating. Because, like I said, like, these YouTubers have tremendous influence. Like, so many kids, like pretty much every kid I know, young kids, minors, like watch YouTube and like follow some of these people, and it's like, and a lot of parents, especially like millennial parents, are like raising their kids. They just like hand them a tablet and they're like, here, entertain yourself while I go do whatever, you know. Thank you, Mango. At least he's almost spelling a coherent sentence. But yeah, these kids are like being raised by YouTube celebrities. And I don't think the effects are necessarily going to be all that great. I'm actually stuck on this thing, whatever it is. It looks like a it looks like a cervix, honestly. A space cervix. Cool sound effects. Alright, time to see the main attraction. Okay. Fair warning. Flying space debris. They're remodeling. You may be abducted and potentially anally probed. Oh my god. I'm really having trouble with my keyboard today. My cat's not helping. I kind of wish I could, like, I wish I had a webcam that I could show, like, my cat sleeping on the keyboard. Alright, I'm gonna stop running around like a chicken with its head cut off. Yeah, Khalid, you're asking me, how am I so rich? Yeah, I've been hanging on to that million lindens with greedy claws because, let's see, it took me 3 years of selling items on the Second Life marketplace to make that million plus lindens. So that's why I'm so rich. 100%. Like, I haven't put a single dollar into Second Life. The only reason I started selling stuff on the marketplace was because I wanted to be able to upload textures and then eventually models, mesh models. And in order to do that in Second Life, you need to have at least 10 lindens a pop. And that can add up. So I needed to finance my habit. So I started building things and then putting them on the marketplace so I would have enough money to continue to build and upload. I really like how bright and colorful everything is in this sim. It's just like a real fun visual experience. You don't get this very often. So yeah, like, the funny thing is, in real life I'm pretty poor, so I have all these million lindens, but I'm poor in real life. I mean, honestly, a million lindens is just like a little over $4,000 USD, which, yeah, it's a significant amount of money for a lot of people, especially when it's just like sitting in virtual currency. But the problem is, if I cash that all out at once, I'll have to pay taxes. And that's like a problem for me, because paying taxes on a big chunk of money could put me in serious financial trouble. That's how fucked up economics is in our world, at least for someone like me who's like a borderline. I'm on the board. I'm technically classified as economically impoverished. It's only through sacrifices in life that I'm able to have such a comfortable lifestyle. At least to me. Most people would just be like, no way I could live like that, probably. But I'm also kind of, I mean, I don't know how disingenuous it is to say this, but I consider myself to be intentionally poor as opposed to like unintentionally. I mean, it may turn into unintentionally at some point. Oh, these are beautiful present boxes. But at least in the current moment in time, I'm intentionally poor. And the reason that you'd buy Bitcoins, huh? Yeah, here's a funny story. I back in the day when Bitcoin first started, I actually mined my own Bitcoins. I had 11 Bitcoins, which nowadays is worth so much money. And I mined them myself. I didn't buy them, so it only cost me the electricity. And back then it wasn't even super expensive, because the block solving was fairly low effort in the beginning. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to turn these Bitcoins into real money. And of course I picked Mt. Gox, the exchange that was the biggest and best at the time. Transferred all my Bitcoins. And then unfortunately they got hacked and I lost all of my Bitcoins. And like, I was pretty pissed off about it, because like, I mined them myself. That's why I was pissed off. Like, I can't even imagine how I would have felt if I'd paid money for those Bitcoins. I mean, it wouldn't have been very much back at the beginning, maybe $1,000 or so. But the fact that I mined them myself and they were like my Bitcoins, and then to have them like stolen by these hackers who hacked the exchange and just like gutted the whole thing. I don't know, it made me pretty unhappy. I mean, if I had those 11 Bitcoins now, I don't even know how much. Does anybody know how much a Bitcoin is now? Let me check. I'm just gonna check this really fast. CoinDesk, 9,381. Yeah, so like $100,000 or so USD Bitcoins that I lost. I was gonna hang on to one because I crunched the numbers on it, and according to the design, the way that Bitcoin is designed and the way each coin can be subdivided, theoretically, it reaches its like nominal financial effectiveness for transference and as a currency when each individual Bitcoin is worth $1 million. So that I think that means that the smallest chunk of a Bitcoin that a single Bitcoin can be subdivided into would equal $1. So technically, it's like a technical limit of the way the currency works. So I was planning on holding on to one single Bitcoin and thinking, oh, I'll cash this out when it reaches $1 million per coin. Then I can retire. But I very stupidly and impulsively transferred my final Bitcoin to Mt. Gox, and then all 11 of them were in my Mt. Gox account, which at the time I think it was only worth like $20,000 or something equivalency. And then they got hacked, and it was just like, it all just went up in smoke. So I learned my lesson, you know. I could have just kept those Bitcoins in my own wallet and monitored the exchange, but I got greedy. And because it's a system that doesn't have any regulation or oversight, I mean, you're entirely 100% responsible for how you manage your quote-unquote money. Okay, let's see. I think I've been streaming for almost an hour now. Yeah, 56 minutes. I don't know. This was a pretty cool sim to end on, I think. I'm slightly disappointed that I was so incoherent today because of my mental state that I was unable to say everything I wanted to say about all these topics. But whatever, you know, it's an ongoing story. That's how I see it. I mean, my character's last name is Neotoy Story, so you're getting the Neotoy story and the Neotoy experience. And hopefully you're enjoying it. I know some of you are. And thanks for watching. Thanks for making this little project the success that it is. And hopefully we'll all continue to have fun together. And I'll catch you guys next time. Have a good one.